So, the last update that I did to my theater room was updating the sofas, or Chesterfields, or couches in there. I did a review of that, so if you want to see a review of a couch, and hold on to your hats, because it's a good one. There's a link to them at the end of this video. You know, since then, I've decided that I want to upgrade the sound system. What I have right now really isn't bad. It's a Sony STR-KS360. It's done me quite well so far. I think I've had it for about a decade, but that's probably past its expiration date, and it's time to upgrade to something a little more up-to-date. The one thing that always bothered me is it doesn't have 3D pass-through. My projector is a 3D projector, and I have some 3D Blu-rays. They're fun to watch, but every time I want to watch them, I have to disconnect the PS3 from the receiver and hook it straight into the projector. And then I've got to switch the audio from HDMI out to optical out so I can still pass the audio to the receiver. It's a big pain in the butt. So I picked up this Pioneer receiver. And when I got it, I noticed it has Dolby Atmos, which kind of intrigues me because it's got the new sound coming from the ceiling type of thing. And I also noticed that it supports Zone 2, which hypothetically means I could put speakers out in my game room that could play different audio than the theater room at the same time. And that would be really handy in case I ever made a friend. Speaking of which...
Hello?
Hey, dude, you gotta come over. I got a new receiver. You need to help me set it up.
No, not tonight. I don't think. No.
Come on.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna go to bed, I think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Fine. Doesn't matter. So as I was saying, got the receiver. I decided to put 2 speakers in each of these rooms. So I went ahead and got 2 speakers for the theater room. Pick up these bad boys on sale. And then I decided I was going to use the Zone B for this room so I could watch a movie while playing music for my guests out here. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to install these speakers and set up the receiver.
So, first things first, we gotta take the ceiling tiles out of the ceiling. Then, because I want them to be centered in the middle of each ceiling tile, I'm gonna mark the center of the ceiling tile. Speakers come with this really handy cardboard template, so you know exactly what size of circle to cut out. So I'm gonna mark the center of that, and then simply line up the 2 centers to make sure the hole gets in the center of the ceiling tile. There, perfect center. It was kind of a pain in the ass to just use an X-Acto knife to cut the hole. I mean, it worked, and it will work in a pinch, but there's probably a better knife or tool you can use to cut the hole out of a ceiling tile. Still, it worked fine. So each speaker has 4 clips which hold it in place. You simply insert into the hole and use a screwdriver to tighten the clamps down on the ceiling tile. So with the ceiling tile back in place, all I need to do is feed the speaker wire through it and I'm ready to install the speaker. So it was kind of a pain in the butt to hold the speaker in one hand and use the other hand to try to feed it into the proper holes. I was able to do it, but if you can get a friend to help, that'd be all the better. Now I turn each screw a quarter turn to enable the clamp to clamp down onto the ceiling tile. After that, it's just a matter of tightening them all up and the speaker is installed. The last step is to simply put the grate on the front of the speaker. It's as simple as inserting it and giving it a little push, and it'll hold itself right in there. Here's a quick shot of how the speaker looks when it's installed from above the ceiling tile. You'll have to excuse the dust. The end result is a very clean look, and the speakers actually perform quite well. You know, I was planning to go ahead and do a whole big unboxing and setup of the receiver, but I honestly don't think it's that interesting. I'll just open up the box and show you the front and back, and you can get an idea for yourself. I think one of the nicest things about the receiver for me is that you can simultaneously output to 2 HDMI sources. That's really good for me because I mainly use a projector, but in case I ever get a burnt out bulb and I don't have a replacement, I can simply turn on the TV behind the projector screen and I'm good to go. It's got 6 HDMI ins, which for me is more than enough. I'm sure there's people who need more, but I think 6 is a decent number for most home theater setups. It's also got some optical audio in from your TV if you want to set it up like that. You got component video in, some composite as well, so you're not strictly stuck to HDMI. It's also got a network connection for Ethernet. It's handy because you have to do a firmware update if you want to get all the different types of surround sound supported out of the box. It doesn't come with them, so you'll need to do a firmware update first. And finally, you've got your speaker outputs. You've got your front left and right channel, your center channel, your surround left and right channel, and then surround back, and your height. Now this was a little confusing for me because I accidentally set up my height speakers, which are my ceiling speakers for Dolby Atmos. I set them up as the surround back, and I didn't realize that the surround back is actually zone B. Still, once you get everything figured out, it's fairly straightforward to set up your speakers. And you know, that's about it, really. The speakers perform quite well. I'm blown away by the Atmos surround sound. I bought a few Blu-rays with Dolby Atmos enabled, and the difference between that and just regular Dolby Surround 5.1 surround it's like night and day. I even had other people walk into the room while I was watching a movie and comment about the sound quality, and they had no idea anything had changed yet, so you definitely can tell there's a difference. Thanks for watching this video. Take care and subscribe if you haven't already.
This is where I ask you to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. We got lots of fun stuff coming and we could sure use the audience.